Welcome, 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 sports fans. I've been gone for a while. I know the public has been waiting, been wondering what has happened to the Zilla. He's back, and I'm in a new location. I am in Rob's Bar, in an undisclosed location in this great country of ours. I'm your host, Kwafo Adakwa, the host, proprietor, CEO, Grand Poobah of Zilla Sports Network. You can find us here. You found us here on YouTube, so thank you for that. We've been doing this for about 2 years now, bringing you content in the sports gaming world, fantasy world, all those good things. I thought it's the holiday season, so I hope all of you had a Merry Christmas. For those that celebrate, whatever you celebrate, hopefully you have a good New Year, you stay healthy and happy. But I thought it's a break. Let's have a live show. So we have an audience back here. You can clap it up. You can't see them. Yeah, okay. So we have an audience here that's going to boo as I go through these picks. So that'll be kind of fun and exciting. But we have a live audience. We're at Rob's Bar. Beautiful artwork here. You got Ashley Judd in the back. It's very fun, very exciting. But we'll go through the New Year's 6 games. We'll be quick. We'll be brief. We'll do that. We'll have fun with it. We'll make picks. And away we go. So, again, subscribe to this channel if you can. Like, subscribe, tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell two enemies, tell two friends. YouTube, we're here at Zilla Sports Network. Also on Twitter, Zilla Sports Net. Also on Instagram, the same thing, Zilla Sports Network as well. Our website, www.zillasportsnetwork.com. That's the way you go to get involved in all of the fun we do behind the paywall in Discord. And again, for like $9.99 a month, I mean, simple. You get picks on football, stuff like this. So we do go behind the paywall. We have a great team that does NBA, college football, you name it. We talk about it. So check us out if you like it. All right. We've got 6 games, if I can count right. 6 games to go through. And I'm going to try to get this done in 30 minutes. So let's start with a game that's near and dear to my heart. That is in Atlanta, the Peach Bowl. We've got MSU and we've got the Pitt Panthers. Right now, MSU is a 2.5 point favorite. The total's 58 right now for that game. As I'm seeing this game, this is the game of the sit-outs, right? Pitt's without their Heisman finalist in Kenny Pickett. The Spartans are without Kenneth Walker, their Heisman caliber player. You have more than capable backups, though, for the Michigan State side of this thing. Pitt is also without an OC. He's moved on. So you have Pitt, you have Michigan State, the battle of attrition. Hopefully they can dodge the COVID bullet. Really, as I look at this game, you've got the receiving core, as the time of this taping here, fully intact for Michigan State. Pitt is out without one of their key pass catchers as well. So looking at all those factors, and again, Michigan State has the nation's worst pass defense, so you would think, oh, this should be a field day for Pitt. I'm not trusting a new OC. I'm not trusting a new quarterback with Pitt. I've got the Spartans figuring some things out in the back end, getting a pass rush. It's a backup quarterback. I've got all the receivers in play. You got your Nailers, your Reeds. You have Peyton Thorne still there. Usable running backs in the backfield. Without Pickett, who's the difference maker, who's going to be a first-day pick in the NFL draft, I think MSU will win this game, use it as a springboard into 2022. I've got MSU by 7. The total of 56 is probably about right. So we got MSU by 7. Look at that! Look at that! All right, look at that! All right, so we're off to a good start. We got people liking what we're doing with that pick. All right, so let's move to the college football playoff game. That is the first one we'll tackle is in the Cotton Bowl. So down in Jerry's World, we got the Alabama Crimson Tide. We got the Cincinnati Bearcats. The total right now is 57.5. The Crimson Tide, a big 13.5 point favorite. This is Bama in their usual spot, right? We've all seen this. You guys have all seen this, right? Yeah. So this is Bama, what they usually do this time of year. We're sick and tired of it. The Bearcats are kind of Cinderella in this thing. They've got Desmond Ridder, a great quarterback, in his probably what will be a swan song. You have the Bearcats with just an impeccable record, no blemishes on it. They beat Notre Dame earlier in the year, but Cincinnati has not faced this caliber of talent this whole season. Notre Dame is good, and they beat them on the road. They beat them up in South Bend, but Bama's on a different level. If Bama gives you 75% of what they gave in the SEC title game, this is probably not going to be close. I think that with the Heisman Trophy winner in Bryce Young, Jamison Williams on the wideouts, running backs for days for Bama, a very stingy defense when they play up to that level. You've got Cincinnati going up in a buzzsaw, and I think they will keep it close, right? They're going to be representative. The last 2 years are not a fluke for Cincinnati. As I said, Desmond Ridder, a great quarterback, maybe make some money on Sundays. But I really think that it's probably a close game in early third quarter. I think Bama really starts to pull away in the third. Too many athletes, too many weapons. Bama's going to cover the spread. I also like the total to go over. So let's go Bama, 13.5. That's 2 touchdowns, probably easy money, over 57.5 as well. So, yeah, let's go Bama. Let's go, let's go like 58 is about where this will land, 59 points in that game total. So that is the one semifinal. The second semifinal, let's move to that one, the Orange Bowl in Miami Gardens, which I was happy to go down there earlier in the year and see the Spartans take on the Hurricanes. We got the Georgia Bulldogs coming off a really disappointing effort in the SEC title game, going up against my least favorite team in America, the Michigan Wolverines. Very good. Very good. Very good. I like it. The Bulldogs are 7.5-point favorites. The total in this one is 44.5. So really, this is a tale of which Georgia team shows up in this type of environment. In the last decade, Georgia has had talented teams. You name it, first-round picks. They've been on the precipice. They've been in the playoff. They've been in these big games. They've not sealed the deal. They were the odds-on favorite going into the SEC title game to kind of just run the table and win this whole thing. They have a lot to prove. And as kind of a theme through most of these bowl games that are non-playoff games, because the playoff games are going to be hype no matter what. But in the games that are non-playoff games, it's really about if the kids will show up and if they're really going to put forth the effort and representative effort in the game, if they want to be there. Clearly, it's a playoff game. They're going to want to be there. You know, Georgia's really looking at, can we get one more shot at Bama? One more shot at Bama. Michigan, again, great defensively in the front seven, decent in the back four. I think what this will come down to is Georgia's defense is elite still, no matter what happened in the SEC title game. They're going to force Michigan to have Cade McNamara beat them. And as I noted, if you're having Cade McNamara try to beat you, it's like asking me at 43 to go out and play 20 snaps with these guys. And that ain't happening, and neither one's going to happen. So I've got the Dogs by 10 in this one, and I think the total of 44.5 is probably about right. I would stay away from the total, but give me Georgia by 10, easily cover the 7.5 points. All right. I'm pandering to the audience here. Yeah. All right. So let's move on to a very fun game that we Spartans would be in Glendale, I guess is where they play now. The Fiesta Bowl. Oklahoma State at Notre Dame. The total here is 45.5. The Iron favorites right now at time of taping. This is the Freeman debut. This is Marcus Freeman, head coaching debut. He's got most of the people playing. Not a lot of opt-outs. I think in the back end they have an opt-out, the NFL caliber safety. Okie State, some key pieces not going to be there. Again, as I talk about games that are non-playoff games, as you look for 2022, to me, this looks like an Irish setup where they're getting themselves ready to be dominant as we get into fall of 22, make a run for the playoff. This sets up very nicely. The big tight end Mayer there, all of the pieces back offensively really in place. This isn't the same Oklahoma State team that played through most of the year, that was playing as one of the top 5 defenses in the country. I really think the Irish here will cover the 2 points. I think, because the defenses are a little bit not as strong as they were in the regular season, I think that total is probably safe to go over. So let's go over 46 points. Let's call it 46 to 48 points as a total, and let's get the Irish to cover in Arizona. We'll have a lot of fans. The Irish travel very well, and so let's go Notre Dame, and let's go the over in the Fiesta Bowl. So we have some Irish fans here. It's the Midwest. I'm taping in the Midwest. This is what happens, right? This is what we do. This is kind of what happens. All right. 2 more games to go through. The Sugar Bowl. I've actually been to the Sugar Bowl. Funny story. went to the Sugar Bowl in the mid 2000s, early 2000s, to watch my hated rival Michigan against Vatech. Long story how I got there. Needless to say, that was the worst New Year's Day I've ever spent watching them celebrate a very tragic game on Bourbon Street, wanting to throw drinks at people. It was just a long story. Maybe one day we'll tell that story. But anyway, Sugar Bowl, Baylor, Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a 1.5-point favorite. The total is 55. So this will be a fun game to watch. Not a lot of opt-outs on either side here. I was surprised to find that Matt Corral to play for Ole Miss in this one. So it makes the game a lot more interesting. I like that over total 55. It's going to be back and forth, even though Dave Aranda's team is defensively sound. So Ole Miss this whole season has not shown a propensity to play defense at all, realistically. And so the total's really, really where I'm looking at more than anything. If I've got to pick a direction, it's probably Baylor as the underdog. But by the time this game kicks off over the weekend, it'll be I think you'll be pretty much a pick 'em. But really the thing I want to focus here on is the total. 55 points, not enough points. This is going to be back and forth. It's going to be fun to watch. Let's get the total in that one. And if you got to pick a side, it's probably Baylor. But I think the total of 55 is probably too low for this one, especially if everybody's going to be playing. The last game, it's near and dear to most people's heart here in the room with me. It's the Ohio State Buckeyes. It's the Utah Utes. It's at the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California, one of the most beautiful places in the world to watch a football game. This is the consolation prize for the Buckeyes. But I should go back. The Buckeyes are 6.5-point favorites. The total on this one is 66. That seems crazy. Did I write that down right? Somebody check that. Is that 66? Did I check that? That can't be right. It's 66 is right. It's crazy. This is nuts. That's a lot of points. Anyway, consolation trip. I would love a consolation trip because there's snow outside. It's very, very cold where I'm at. I would love a trip to Pasadena as a consolation prize on New Year's Day. The Buckeyes have been there very many times. It is one of my favorite bowls. I'm just going to lie. It's a great game to go to. I got to believe Ohio State is fuming. That game against Michigan, they had 20-something players sick. I had some contacts with people on the team. Like it was a really bad look for the Buckeyes. They weren't fully healthy and fully locked and loaded. They will be healthy. They'll be loaded. A lot of their key offensive players are underclassmen, so you don't have to worry about them opting out. You got C.J. Stroud getting ready for 2022. You got Travion Henderson that's coming back. Opt-outs, which are on the fence with. They have so much talent in Ohio State. Utah is very good defensively, but you have a motivated Ohio State team, again, looking for a springboard into 22. They just reload. Utah was a class of the Pac-12, no doubt about it. And they, the common opponent, you'd say, well, Utah beat Oregon, and Oregon beat Ohio State, so Utah should beat Ohio State. That's not how it's going to happen. Ohio State is going to be angry. They're going to be motivated. They're going to have a lot of fans because they travel well. When you look at these games, they're non-playoff games. If it's the motivation that has to be there for one side. The motivation will be there for Utah. They don't have enough dogs to play with the Buckeyes. So give me the Buckeyes by the touchdown easy. Let's take the under 66 because I don't think Utah can score if Ohio State is motivated as I think they will be. This sets themselves up along with Notre Dame and maybe even a Michigan State for 22 for a big 22 year. So Buckeyes, 6.5 points, probably not enough. They're going to win by at least a touchdown and then under the 66 total. So to recap, Ohio State, 6.5-point favorites and under the 66. In the Sugar Bowl, we went with Baylor if you had to pick a side, and we went with the totals, what we were most comfortable with. The Fiesta Bowl, Notre Dame, the -2, and then that total of 45. On the Orange Bowl, we went with Georgia, and we took the total at 44.5. In the Cotton Bowl, we took Bama and the points and the total of 57. And then in the Peach Bowl, we took the Spartans 2.5 and a total of 56. Yeah. So that was a quick run through the New Year's Six live in front of a studio audience, kind of like what they're doing on ABC these days. So I appreciate you guys liking, subscribing, telling a friend, telling an enemy, telling a neighbor. Check us out, www.zillasportsnetwork.com. All sorts of stuff on Twitter, all sorts of stuff on Instagram. We're going to be a lot more active in 22. you may like some of these pictures, you'll probably see them again because this is kind of a nice setup, a studio audience I get built in. I didn't have to pay these guys, and we're gonna have fun afterwards. So for all of you out there in TV land, we want to say thank you. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking us. Check us out. If you have any questions, always find us on Twitter. Always find us here on YouTube in the comments. And be easy, y'all. Take it easy. Bye, guys. Woo! All right.